We're going, guys. This is the fourth episode of
TUMEKUA podcast, and this is your boy Isaac.
And this is Neil.
A special guest for you. You might know him from his hit song Missy Wezi or from his hit album Nico.
Yes, sir. It's Kahu. Thank you guys for having me. Bless up, man. Bless up.
Alright, thanks. So basically what we normally do is we ask questions and just to gather intel and so that people could know you and you could speak out to people our age.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our first question, Neil.
So when did you start making music?
So basically I started like 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like 4 years ago, it was just recording through like a mic, like an iPhone microphone like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like that, recording through an iPhone microphone, and then learning to mix on like Audacity or something like that. That's how it started 4 years ago.
And what's inspired you exactly to become a creative?
I'd always been creative. So like even when I was a kid, like 9 years old, 10 years old, I was still like rapping. You know what I mean? I always knew I could rap and I liked rapping. But then I took it a step further when it felt like I needed to do it. Like it became something that, like how you pace or whatever, just exactly like that. Like it became a need. Like I needed to do it all the time. Yeah, and then from there, just going for.
Did you begin from SoundCloud?
Pardon?
Did you begin from SoundCloud?
Yeah, straight up SoundCloud, man.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's where like most of my fans for today are from, honestly.
Yeah.
If you look at the guys who listen to the music, if you look at people who like talk about the music a lot, it's guys who have been listening from day one, and that's like SoundCloud now.
Oh. Yeah. So you'd say all your fans are, they've started with you.
Yeah, I think not all, a few. Like
most.
Yeah, like 60%, I'd say.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's still early. It's still this is still the beginning. It still counts. Anybody who's come even now, it still counts as a beginning.
Yeah, it does.
So how did your family take the news when you told them you wanted to become a rapper?
It wasn't even like that. It wasn't even at a thing for I want to be a rapper or anything like that. It was like I'm coming back. I'm in the house, and then I'm checking the house and telling them I'm going for a show. And then I come back the next day and then how's the show? And then the thinking is just like I'm going to watch a show or something, They didn't clock what was happening. I didn't tell them anything. So they think I'm going to watch I think I'm going to watch a drama show or something like that.
Oh, I get.
And the club.
Right now, are you signed to a record label or you solo?
Right now I'm solo completely.
So how did you get a manager and everything?
Okay, so my manager Tupac has been my big bro for the longest time. Since kids, literally, I think that's the first proper big bro that I've even aside from my family. That's probably the first one we met when we were kids. So it's always been a good vibe. It's always been a brotherly vibe, and it wasn't even hard to tell because it's like the puzzles fit perfectly together. You know what I mean? He was doing manager before he was even a manager. Yeah, that's what it was.
Would you say that you've experienced any challenges as coming up as a rapper?
Yeah, definitely. Especially in Kenya, man.
Yeah.
Once again, guys they doubt you, they don't see any way to get there, to get to to even past SoundCloud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't. That gap is it hasn't been. It's very few people make it across that gap. The TNTs, the Karoons, the Betty, Prince, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now those guys is like aside from those people, you see such a small number from such a big population. So now you guys are like, yo, you can't like you're trying, but dog, are you really, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a challenge of like make like that, and also money, of course. Like there's not much money to do the most, like promote it heavily or whatever. You just have to rely on good music. That's the challenge, I think, the most. Just promotion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get traction in the industry in terms of getting funds?
Hey, yo, that's a long.
Process, yeah.
It's like it's like it took time. It took time. There were times on SoundCloud, or posting um like 10 songs a week, huh?
Yeah.
And we're getting nothing, like 2 likes, 2 views, something like that. Some ridiculous nonsense like that. And it's like you don't, and it's like you don't see anything past that. But then, around 2018 October, no, forget that. 2018 summer, I dropped a song called Crooked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've had it. Yeah.
you know Crooked, yeah, yeah. When Crooked chucked,
Mhm.
that's when things were like, okay, this guy can, like, there's a chance this guy can do something. And then I dropped Never Too Deep, Never Too Late later that year.
Yeah.
And that's when
And then it started picking up. So
exactly.
was it like was it like a really big moment when you first heard your songs playing on the radio and shit?
Yeah, okay, Never Too Deep didn't even have anything on the radio yet. It was the first the first one on the radio was definitely Miss Yezi.
Mhm.
Yeah, so when now you just get surprised, or like you're trapping the club and you hear it in the club, or you're on the way somewhere and then you're playing it in the whip, and then a driver is like, "Yo, I know this song," or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the first time you hear it anywhere apart from on your boy's laptop or your laptop. And I'm like, it's shocking. You're like, what is actually happening? You can't believe it. Still can't believe it.
I remember the first time I also heard Missy Busy. It was a jam in a club. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it has to be in the whip. It has to be in the whip.
And then how would you describe your like rapping style? Or should I call you a rapper or musician?
Call me a musician.
Mm-hmm.
The style that I use is the one thing you can define it as is somebody recently said that it's authentic. Like the best way to describe it is authentic.
Yeah, I think it's authentic.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I don't hide anything. The way I speak, real life, that's the way I'm speaking. That like everything is exact the same way. I just print the Kenyan culture I have inside me, and I just print it on a song. That's what I do. I just like
Okay.
copy paste it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And how would you say that your career has affected your relationships and dating life?
Oh, hey, let me tell you, um, it gets tricky. Some relation, okay, like some relationships, um, die out for some reason, either because you get too busy or something. Like it doesn't die out, but it just gets harder to talk to people, like that.
Yeah.
yeah,
But then you make new ones, and the people who are supposed to be there will always be there. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. So it's just a pro. It's just normal. It's like changing a school. It's normal,
yeah.
The same homies around.
How do you
Yeah.
Balance like your work life and your music, your normal life? Because like your career has really like picked up, so how are
Yeah.
you able to balance the two?
Let's say it's. I'm not gonna lie and say that it's perfect balance. It gets one-sided at times. So like when I was working on Nico at the peak times, obviously it took a lot away from like education. And then
Yeah.
it's like that balance is, as long as you know what you like, you have to know that you have to know where the balance needs to be. So like sometimes it goes 60-40, but you just have to know that you have to compensate for that 40 eventually. Like that's the way I balance everything. Just move it across the scale and then compensate later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the.
For what you're doing right now, do you see it as a full-time job in the future?
Oh yeah, for the next let's say 20 years, you guys are gonna like I'm here for 20 years, no lie.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, 20 years, 2040 you catch me. I'm disturbing you guys for 20 years, man. No lie. I see, man.
and now that you said you see yourself like being with us like as a performer for the next 20 years, what career goals do you have like for achieving like the relevancy to last for 20 years or
That's a
more?
good question. That's a really good question. The main career goal and the first goal, the first before anything, before any selfish ambitions or whatever, is just to make good music. That's the first thing.
Mhm.
So every time, the idea is just every time I come with something, it has to be better than the last. That's it. That's the deal. Just have to keep pushing. So the career goal is to hopefully see that mentality or work ethic just go further than the border. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think also like from what we're seeing from this new album Nico,
Yeah.
I think we're I see you lasting.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. I'm trying hard for real.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
So what's a typical Kahush day?
Hey, typical coach day. There's no typical coach day. You wake up at early. Wake up early. First thing I do every morning is mix and master something or touch on something. I have to every morning. That's the first thing I do.
Yeah.
What else? Just continue, like do the things that I'm supposed to in the morning hours, and then chief, live your life a bit, enjoy it, and then
Yeah.
the whole night is studio.
Is it okay, explain like your studio life. Do you like just go and like you think of something and then you write it down and you
Oh no, I don't. When I'm studio, I don't write anything.
oh and
Yeah.
how do you come up with beats? That's something that I see very many people struggling with.
Yeah. Beats is something. It's like you have to. What I've seen from beats is there's always like just how do you I don't know. It's just there,
Yeah.
But if let's say somebody has produced a beat, somebody has already started a beat. Like there's some Kenyan producer I've worked with, like Carpenter. I've worked with
Mhm.
Loco, FK, Zeddy the Fundi, like all these guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Zeddy, it's just a thing of when we're going on the beat. I think it's a thing of like collaboration when most of the time when we're talking about a beat. If not, then these guys have just sent me a fire beat and I'll put that like and that's it. Like beats, I won't like these guys. They're magic. They always bring something fire and it's easy from there. As long as the start is the idea, the concept is good, then we're okay.
Oh.
And talk about it.
So are you in uni right now?
Right now I'm in uni, but now, hey, is anybody really in uni right now?
You guys don't have like some online classes stuff?
Yeah, we do, but now what is that, yo?
So like where are you in uni okay, no that would be risky, but are you in uni in Kenya or abroad?
No, I'm in Kenya. Sorry, I only come to Kenya for holidays. Like if I can even come, like I come during the holiday just to see if like homies, fam, safety or whatever. But I study in the UK right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been there. I've been there for time, no lie. I've been there for a couple of years, 3 years, I would say. I started recording music in the UK.
Have you
Mhm.
gotten like any concerts in the UK?
Oh yeah, for sure. Different cities, like all over the place. It's been crazy. Those guys fucking me heavy.
So you could also call yourself an international artist.
Yeah.
Is 2 countries international, you guys?
I mean, okay. Yeah,
In a way, yeah.
two countries that are separated by thousands of miles is basically international.
True.
Yeah, so
We're pushing it. Let's say multinational for now. International a bit later.
yeah.
So is there any new music we should expect soon?
Hey, yo, it's what is soon? Depends what soon is.
Soon is like
During quarantine.
yeah.
Z. Okay, I'm working on a deluxe right now, to be honest.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm working on deluxe. I'll drop it. I can't tell you that.
It's alright. Unless you know we're looking up to something.
Yeah, something big. Like this is gonna be big. No lie.
And then our last question for the day would be: what advice would you give upcoming rappers and artists in Kenya?
I would say to any kind of artist I think coming up in Kenya.
Yeah.
Just if you do it for the right reason, then you're good. You're Gucci. Because if you do it for the right reason, then you know you won't stop.
Yeah.
You know that you won't be demotivated or whatever. Do whatever you continue. So if you do it for the right reasons, then you'll be right.
That's deep, bro.
Yeah, you have to make it deep, man.
Alright, thank you for coming to the show. This has been a really big honor. So
thank you for inviting me, I guess. It's been a pleasure.
Right. So, guys, please listen to TUMEKUA podcast and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find us on Spotify and other streaming services, also on YouTube. And shout out to Karuki Njoroge at Wiwi Karuki, who helped us write for the script for today, and at Gishon Dagwa, who helped us plan the whole podcast. And of course, at Kahush, who continues to release bangers, and my thanks, guys.
Never, never switch on the bros. My kaka, they always close. My shorties be at the shows. My haters hate on the low. My shooters walk on toes. They know how this shit can go. They know that I carry symptoms of a real nigga. The symptoms of a real nigga. The symptoms of a real nigga.